Hello, everyone. Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment official channel. My name is KJ, and today's video is Avengers Doomsday Theories and Predictions. So, just to put it out there, I'm just doing this for fun because this movie doesn't come out until December of this year. And Avengers, so we got a long way before Marvel's Avengers Doomsday. And we know that Robbie Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom, aka Victor Von Doom. So I just came up with some theories that I think would be cool, and I have some predictions. So just doing this for fun. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm fine with it. I'm not trying to figure out what they wrote and what's the main plot of this film and what's the script like. I trust the fact that they have an idea, and this is just for fun. So, before I start, if you guys could do one thing for me, one thing, could you hit the like button, aka the thumbs up button, aka the like button again? That would help my YouTube channel out, and I truly appreciate that, guys. So, I thank you guys in advance. So, without further ado, here is my theories and predictions. So, I'm gonna start with my theories. So I have this first theory, and this is my little spin take on this theory I've been hearing around the internet that Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, is adopted, and he was actually like from a different universe. So this will make him a variant version of Doctor Doom. So what if Tony Stark's mom is actually a variant of Doctor Doom's mom? Now, what if He Who Remains from Loki season 1, aka Kang the Conqueror from Ant-Man Quantumania, what if he went into this universe where Doctor Doom's mom was in an abusive relationship, and because we know in comic books that Doctor Doom's dad wasn't very nice to him. You know, he was very harsh. He was very mean to him. You know, he had a high expectation. So what if that Doctor Doom's dad was just really abusive to Doctor Doom's mom, and He Who Remains, Kang the Conqueror, offered her an escape that, hey, if you go here, you know, you can leave this universe. Now, what if she was pregnant and she didn't want to tell Doctor Doom's dad that, hey, I'm pregnant, but He Who Remains gave her an opportunity to start a whole new life and live in a complete different universe where she never has to deal with him again. And what if she took that? And then what if she met Howard Stark, fell in love, and he just stepped up and took in this child, Tony Stark, as his own and just claimed him, right? And she just told Howard Stark, like, hey, his actual dad, he's no longer around, he's not alive, something like that. And what if that was the whole plot? So, and the reason why He Who Remains did that is because this would have saved his universe to create the TVA. So that's just one theory that could help the idea of Tony Stark just being a variant version of Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom. That's just one theory. My second theory is that we know that in the MCU that people can do reincarnation, they can soul walking, which we saw that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We've seen this in Marvel's What If, and we've seen this in Agatha All Along as Billy, one of Wanda's kids, is reincarnation to another child who passed away in a bad car accident, and he took over that body. We know that Billy's brother, he got reincarnated because a little boy drowned in the pool and stuff. So we know that there can be reincarnations. So what if Tony Stark again was a variant of a Doctor Doom, and when he died, passed away by battling Thanos, Victor Von Doom started soul walking, or maybe he died in his universe, which this could be something like the early 2000 Fantastic Four with like Jessica Alba and stuff, and Chris Evans as the Human Torch and stuff. Like that can be that Doctor Doom, and he's just a variant of it. That's just one way they can do it, because that's just one way to introduce and put Doctor Doom in the MCU. So that's just one. That's my second theory. My third theory is that now this one's not about reincarnation or, being a different variant, but if they just wanted you to accept the idea that Robert Downey Jr. is just playing two different Marvel characters, and they're not going to acknowledge that the fact that Victor Von Doom looks like Tony Stark because it's the same actor. So the theory is this: what if the in the post credit scenes, or end credit scenes I should say, of the Marvel's Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers, what if Doctor Doom's on that ship the whole time, and he actually has Reed Richards and his wife's son the whole time, and he's gonna convince everybody that he's the hero, and this is where we see the Avengers battle the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. What if this is the story of Doctor Doom just creating his own reality? Like, I bet you he visit the universe where the X-Men are at, that we seen in the teaser trailer slash the clues that the Russo brothers has stated, that these teaser trailers are not just trailers, but they're clues to what could be the thing that could happen in this film. So I can also see that Doctor Doom is pretending to be the hero to do his evil diabolic plan, which is take over the multiverse. And I believe that he's gonna trick the Avengers and the X-Men to fight the Fantastic Four, so he can do the thing that he needs the child for. So I can also see that. Now let's talk about my next. So those are just my theories. Now I want to get into. Now here's some. I want to just get into the predictions. These are just my predictions based on the four teaser trailers with the clues that I noticed. So the first one we see was Steve Rogers, who used to be Captain America, but Sam Wilson is now the official Captain America, and he holds the shield. So this is a retired Steve Rogers. And now remember, I'm going to spoil some scenes in all the Marvel films. He again went back and took the Infinity Stones back, and he decided to stay in the year he was actually legitly born and raised in, before he crashed the plane and was frozen into the 21st century, or modern era of the world, right? And he stayed. So we see him. We know that he's married because they showed that in the Avengers Endgame movie when he's old man Steve Rogers. And so he took the advice from Tony Stark to get a life, and he's holding a baby in this teaser trailer. Now, historically, that blue wasn't necessarily for the males. That the blue and pink for gender reveals that came on a little bit later. This is not a regular blue, right? So I believe, and this is just a prediction, I believe that this baby is actually his daughter, which will be Peggy Carter's daughter, right? And I believe that she's going to be like the new leader of a young Avengers at some point. I think they'll do a huge like 5-year gap jump, of some sort. And I get it. This is a 2-hour movie. They can't put everything in here, right? Like they probably got to spread this out to Avengers Secret Wars, which comes out in the year 2027. Woo. And but I believe that baby's a girl. And I believe because there is comic books where it's Captain America's daughter or Steve Rogers' daughter, and we seen that. But again, it could be a boy, but there historically in real life that wasn't always the symbol for male in that time era. It changed obviously, but I just have a gut feeling that is a baby girl. Now, and here's the thing too. What's interesting is that first teaser trailer represents love or like life, basically love or life, because this is life, and obviously that since that baby was born in a different time era, by the time it got to that current year where Avengers Endgame was, with the time, if you time stamped it, then this child is already an older adult, maybe had kids, maybe became a grandparent at some point. But I believe like this is gonna be like the young Avengers type thing that could help build up. But I also predict with that first trailer, because this is Love and Life, is that since he did that, since Steve Rogers decided to retire as Captain America and stay in that timeline in his actual legit time where he was legit born in, from Captain America First Avengers movie, then that makes sense that maybe that too I predict as well with this one is, since it kind of represents life, I think that this what caused Doctor Doom to get motivated to want there, right? Like I think Doctor Doom is going to go to that timeline, to that year, and destroy Captain America, which then he'll be gone. Because I think they're going to kill off some characters, write them off, basically. Now, my second prediction is for teaser trailer 2, which we see Thor doing a prayer, right? He's praying to his dad, Odin. And I think this is death. I think what that is, that's the one character I think is going to get written off. I think, they got rid of Steve Rogers, Captain America, and then they got rid of Iron Man. And then, those characters passed the torch, right? For Captain America, Steve Rogers, it was Sam Wilson who's now Captain America. And then for Iron Man, you can go two ways. One is Spider-Man, or you can go the Ironheart, right? At which she's never met Tony Stark, but she was inspired and she created her own, Iron Man suit, type thing, right? And so for Thor, I think this is death. This is Thor's death. And I think the little girl that he took in as his own daughter, I think she'll be the female Thor, right? She'll be the official female Thor or Lady Thor, right? And I think that's the idea of what I think can happen with that one. And then the third prediction is another death, which actually I call that the reborn, right? I think this is where I believe just this is why I call the X-Men trailer the reborn, is because I think this is the only way to me personally, and I could be wrong. Again, I'm not trying to be right, but we know that they have told the Dark Phoenix story at least twice. At least twice, 3 times, well, 4 times if you wanna include the original X-Men animation series, and then, X-Men '97. I know they did another X-Men animation after the '90s, but I can't remember if they did the Dark Phoenix story, but if they did, then that'd be 5 times they have told the Dark Phoenix, which is Jean Grey. But to me, this is the best way to tell that story again, and it's gonna be somewhat quicker because, you know you don't want I don't think in the MCU they want to revisit the Dark Phoenix saga story again. So I'm predicting that when we see Cyclops on his knees and he's, screaming, I think the Dark Phoenix, Jean Grey, became Dark Phoenix, and this is the aftermath. I think Jean Grey has destroyed all the X-Men, destroyed all the bad people who were against the mutants, and then I think she destroyed the X-Men, like from Wolverine to, Magneto to Charles Xavier to Beast. Like, I think, and that's the universe that we see the mother of Captain Rambo, who her mom she got. If you watch the Marvels, you see Captain Rambo. She got she got stuck in space, right? And she saw Kelsey Grammer's Beast, right? Played by Kelsey Grammer. And I think that's the same universe in a way. I don't, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I get it because the actor who's playing Cyclops, Kelsey Grammer wasn't playing Beast, so I get that. I get that, and you don't want to. They may not want to mix that up, but I'm predicting this is the reborn. Now they cut. I know a lot of people call this trailer death, but I think Thor is the death trailer. This is the reborn, right? Because I think this is the only way for the MCU again to tell the Dark Phoenix story, but in a more shorter, smaller capacity and making it make sense, right? I think this is the way that Doctor Doom could trick the X-Men, the surviving X-Men members, than saying like, "Hey, if you come to this universe, we can save your universe from what Jean Grey has done," right? As she becomes the Dark Phoenix. That's what I'm thinking. Now that last trailer where you see the Wakandans, Shiri, T'Challa's sister, and they meet Ben Grimm. Now, I don't know what's AI and what's not AI. I don't believe they put Doctor Doom in that trailer, in that fourth teaser trailer. I think that was just AI. But I call that afterlife for one reason. This is the afterlife to me because I think this is a different universe, right? I know a lot of people think that Doctor Doom was actually with Ben Grimm that was meeting the Wakandans, but I actually think this is a different universe, and I think this is where they recast T'Challa. I think this whole thing is to get T'Challa back because of the death of Chad Boseman and stuff, RIP. But I think this is the chance, like this, or at least a variant version where maybe Denzel Washington, because remember he's rumored, or he's officially in the next Wakanda movie or Black Panther movie of some sort. But I think we'll see Denzel Washington as T'Challa in this one. So I think this is a different universe. It's not Earth 616, but I think this would be a universe where T'Challa didn't die. That's what I'm saying. But that's just my predictions because I think this is the first. I think Avengers Doomsday is going to tell a awesome superhero story, but I also see this is just they're going to retcon some stuff and fix some things in the timestamp, the timeline. Maybe get rid of one thing, but I think this is the chance for them. I know it makes more sense for Avengers Secret Wars, but I think they want to do the T'Challa thing, recasting T'Challa, aka Black Panther. But that's all my theories and predictions, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think's gonna happen and what are your Avengers Doomsdays. Let me know in the comments below. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys and peace.